Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos.
Sporty greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okorapan. Good to see you, Cecilia.
Same here. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
All right, this is what the show looks like tonight. We will be reviewing what happened in the Federation Cup. For the first time in 43 years, Bendel Insurance were able to lift the NFL Federation Cup. And of course, Bayelsa Queens, they retained the trophy they won in 2021. And also, we look at what's currently going on with International Boxing Federation. Yes, you will have boxers at the Olympics, both the one in Los Angeles and of course the one in Paris. But the thing is, the IBF will not be in charge of the athletes that will be participating. Also, they're talking about time running out for Russian athletes that will be taking part at the Olympics in 2024. And we'll also talk about the teams that are releasing their list. USA happens to be the latest to come out with the list of the players that will be representing the country. They're going for a tripit. I mean, 3 times. No country has ever done that, men or women. So the Americans are trying to see if they can do that. So that's why you have all the veterans. They will be going to this World Cup. Alex Morgan, Rapinoe, all of them, these ladies will be there at the World Cup. So I'm happy that they are not in Super Falcons group because the ladies are ready. When you have about 4 players going to their 4th World Cup, that's experience. They won 2 already, so these ladies are ready to conquer. So much more to talk about on the show tonight, Austin.
Cecilia, tell me what the United States women's football team, they're trying to let us know that old wine tastes good, you know, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. You know,
simple.
That's a winning team. With all of the experience, they're taking the same firepower, the same hunger. They won that 3-peat, Cecilia, and I'm sure you know that you cannot put it away from the United States of America women's football team. I cannot wait to see what they can do at the World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. And also the International Olympic Committee, they need to hurry up, make up their mind as regards what they want to do with Russia, because the 2024 Olympics in Paris is just around the corner. These are many more, Cecilia. Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. And of course, Modi Odige, the winning coach, will be joining us on the program to talk about their team. But first, we'll have to talk about these ladies, Bayelsa Queens. They had a fantastic regular season, but they needed something to be able to ensure that, yes, they will not go out of the season empty-handed. That's why they were able to retain the trophy they won in 2021. Remember some of the players, some of the fans who supported, who traveled down to support them during the Super 6. You know, an accident happened and some of the fans actually died on that. So they needed to win this trophy to celebrate those fans who lost their life. Wanted to see confirmation of that result. It ended goalless. They had to go into penalties, and of course it ended 4-2. The team who needed it more actually won it. So for Rivers Angels, nothing for them at the end of this season. Yes, they picked up late, but then it just wasn't enough. Austin, this is what it looks like for these ladies. When she scored that goal, the celebration reminded me of when England won the Euros, taking off the shirt and celebrating. And you could see what this actually means to these players, how excited they were when they were able to win the Federation Cup 4-2 on penalties against Rivers Angels.
Shout out to Bayelsa Queens, Cecilia, and again and again they've shown that they want to be respected and to an extent even feared when talking about women's football in Nigeria. You know, champions of the league, back-to-back winners of the Federation Cup. And look, it gets sweeter when you beat Rivers Angels, a respected side. Don't forget, Edwin Okon was going for, I think, a record 9th title, and that didn't happen. So Bayelsa Queens trying to change the narrative, telling us a beautiful story with women's football in Nigeria. I celebrate them. You can tell this is a testament of the smart work that Bayelsa State they did for sports. In the last 4 years, they've been on the rise from the National Sports Festival to men's football, to women's football, to wrestling. They are showing other states that, look, if you put in the work, you're going to see results. So congratulations to Bayelsa Queens and everything they are doing. The hard work is paying off. And we just want to, continually wish them all the best with women's football development.
All right, let's take a listen to, those involved in this talking about the coach of Bayelsa Queens, how excited he is, and also the Commissioner for Sports of Bayelsa State.
We need to use this one to show appreciation to our government, the good people of Bayelsa State, and those that lost their life in the last Super 6.
We are really elated as a state. The government has really invested a lot in our football teams and indeed in sports. Of course, viewing from what happened a couple of weeks ago and the loss of lives, this is a fitting end to the season. We really want to dedicate this victory to the memories of those who lost their lives coming to support our beloved Bayelsa Queens.
Yeah, sweet dedication, of course, sweet victory for Bayelsa Queens this season. When you win the Federation Cup, it's just for it. But for the men, when you win the Federation Cup, you go to CAF Confederations Cup. That's on the continent. So, Austin, I mean, you listen to talking about the Commissioner for Sports of Bayelsa State. I mean, he's also, of course, President Nigeria Wrestling Federation, talking about those, what these trophy actually mean to all of them in Bayelsa State.
Cecilia, on this live show, I saw my phone buzzing, officials from Delta State calling me. And so I said, let me set the record straight. Bayelsa Queens didn't win the league. Probably I was jumped and I said they did. So I'm sure they were trying to say, Austin, are you trying to take the league title away from us? It was Delta Queens that beat Bayelsa Queens in the final. I'm like, wait a minute, these guys know I'm on TV. Why are they calling me? So yes, Cecilia, we listened to the coach and Daniel Igali, a clear testament of the level of work that they put in that sports development in Bayelsa State. I remember when I met our Governor Adoye Duri at the World Cup in Qatar, he said that they have a framework, it's long-term planning, and that they are not stopping. From government to government, they will continue to follow that framework. And you could tell also, when you put the right persons in place, take charge of your sport, you will see the result. Daniel Igali has been there, done that with sports, as an athlete, now as an administrator, and you can tell that his expertise is, responsible for part of what we're seeing happening in Bayelsa State. So yes, Cecilia, this is just a beautiful story for women's football. I say this because other states can take a look at what Bayelsa Queens they're doing and emulate them for the right things, because we would like to see women's football keep getting better. We would like to see states use football to empower young girls, to tell beautiful stories, to stop, human trafficking that we talked about the other day, to also use it to enrich the lives of young girls. So fantastic for our football. And I just hope that other states will jump on what Bayelsa State are also doing.
You have to be successful, and the only way is to put money into it. Let's just have the confirmation of the result, what it looks like at the end of the day. Yes, it ended goalless, of course, Bayelsa Queens and Rivers Angels, and it was 4-2 on penalties. Bayelsa Queens are winning that one, and what a way for the team to actually celebrate and end the season on a high. So we're waiting for when the next season will start. Hopefully we'll have more games for the women to play, and also CAF will have a better calendar where you can have more games. No rush in anything, and every team will be ready and prepared. So let's talk about the big one. The trophy drought is finally over. It's been a long time since Bendel Insurance celebrated a title. Now, these guys came in from NNL, that's the second tier of the Nigerian League, and then they came into the top flight, which is MPFL, Nigeria Premier Football League, and then they are going to the continent. I mean, Austin, this kind of story is something you just want to hear. From last season, they were playing in the National League, and this season they played in the top flight. Next season, they'll be playing in the top flight and also going to the continent. I believe Bendelites, I mean, all people from Edo and Delta, let me put it like that, because I believe everyone wants to claim them now, will be happy that, yes, continental football will be returning to Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. The good news is that they have a good stadium where they can actually host a continental title. But then, this is how this game actually ended. It was just a penalty, and that was it. Emmanuel Sarenhoy, he was there, composed, collected, he scored that, and then Rangers just couldn't keep up. They were already a player down, and at the end of the day, they just couldn't, come back from that and what a celebration Bendel Insurance had after regulations. The final whistle.
Cecilia, it wasn't just an ordinary penalty. When Imade scored that penalty, it is returning Bendel Insurance to continental football after 28 years. 28 years. Massive for Monday Odigye and his team after everything they did during the regular season, going unbeaten and then losing 2 matches at the Super Six. We knew Bendel Insurance, they were going to end this season in a special way. And what a way to do it on your last game of the season, beating Rangers. By the way, Rangers also, this game was very important for them, but it is Bendel Insurance that football chose, because you can tell that Bendel Insurance did work hard and they totally deserve this. I'm watching and waiting to see when Monday Odigye will be ready to join us on the show. Let him tell us this beautiful story, Cecilia.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Bendel Insurance fans in the UK, they are waiting. They say they want to throw a party to celebrate Bendel Insurance return to the continent. Success is sweet, Cecilia, and what a way Bendel Insurance did it at a time that they were thinking that they were down and out. I remember Abdul Maikaba was trying to tease them that they don't have the momentum after losing their last 2 matches. But football said, look, you've worked so hard, I'll reward you. And here we are.
And here we are. Let's get reaction from this game.
We give God the glory for Bendel Insurance coming back to life with this FA Cup victory today, and also winning a continental ticket after a long time, over 17 years. It's something marvelous, and it's God we have to give the glory.
It's so amazing. We are very, very happy. But we knew that we were going to win it because we lost in Super 6. So we were going to correct our mistakes here in this one. We were not going to let this one go.
We came here prepared, and we are so very, very disappointed with the result, because it's the match we are supposed to win. Because if you look at the playing, you know we are a more playing side. You know, although second half first half we are defending, only defending. We are not just getting to their post, and we did not give 100% we are supposed to. Although we conceded, it was really painful.
Yeah, that was a painful loss for Rangers. They wanted this, but the coach, Abdul Makaba, as Austin mentioned, he was playing the mind games. Psychologically, yeah, they're down after running and everything. But at the end of the day, well, who is down now? Rangers International actually down. They couldn't win the Federation Cup. Bolu Omoni is a Thursday, so he's joining us on Zoom tonight. Bolu, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Okay, let me not do my normal thing. Let me go to Austin for this time. First of all, say happy birthday. I hope you get to send me my birthday cake. And Cecilia, good evening. Always looking useful as well.
What? Okay, I think it's Bolu, I think it's hard for us to actually hear you right now.
No, Cecilia, I heard him loud and clear. He was just saying that you're looking beautiful as always, you know, so that was enough to send you out.
Okay, that wasn't for me, that was for you. Yeah. All right, I mean, okay.
Yeah, Cecilia, I was just going to get into it. We're waiting for Coach Bendel Odigye to join us. Bendel Odigye is trying to join us. Network is that'll be funny. To be good to hear from the Federation Cup winning coach. But let me just get Bolu talking. Bolu, what a story. Bendel Insurance, they'll be returning to continental football after 28 years.
Well, Austin, you remember a few weeks ago, we were talking about how Rangers rest would work against them. Despite having 3 weeks rest over Bendel Insurance, who had to play the Super 6, and people thought, well, they are chilling. I hope the chilling will not be counterproductive, and we can see the result. I'm really happy for Bendel Insurance. Bendel Insurance, Raymond Stars are one of the most properly run teams in the NPFL, and this is the type of result we want to see. And it shows that when you run your football club, when you run them properly, this is the kind of results you get. Going the regular season unbeaten all through, they're coming to the Super 6, losing the last 2 games, and to crown up their great season in quotes, they got the Federation Cup, getting back to the continent, their first title in almost 50 years. I think I'm excited for them. I'm happy for them. Hopefully, all our 4 teams on the continent now will make the group stage and do well for the country.
Sounds good.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, I was just watching the penalty again, and I'm like, I don't know what's currently going on in the minds of Chinemere Ugueze, who caused that penalty, handball, and he was on yellow before, and of course the referee also gave another yellow card. He was out of the game. Maybe he would just be blaming himself if he wasn't there, and if the hand, was properly behind himself. I was looking at, okay, it was the elbow somewhere, but that is a handball. At the end of the day, penalty was given, and this was just enough for Insurance to win it. Bolu, for you, if you want to look at Bendel Insurance, will you say this is a crown of the effort they actually put in all through the season, from the regular season, 80 games unbeaten, going into the Super 6, after 6 games, they lost, they drew 3, they lost 2, but coming here, they were able to bounce back from those 2 back-to-back losses and winning this.
People don't understand the success these guys have this season. Let's use the English Premier League that many people watch. It's like Nottingham Forest being away from the Premier League, being away from continental football, got to Premier League for this season that just ended. Then having Nottingham Forest qualify for the Europa League. That would be a great success, and also winning the FA Cup. So I think that's what it means for Bendel Insurance. They've been away from the league, been away from continent for over 2 decades, and coming back to win and qualify. I think the only way to say what happened to them this season has to be huge success. In fact, you can say they are probably more successful than Rivers United, because both of them got to Confederations Cup and they won a trophy to back it up. So I think it's great achievement for them. Everyone in charge in the team, the squad, the players, captain, everybody. I think they just have to enjoy their celebration. A huge congratulations.
That's right. Shout out to Bendel Insurance and everything that they've been able to accomplish this season. Let's take reactions from the Federation Cup final match between Bendel Insurance and Rangers. And we'll come back. Hopefully, everything will work good for us, and we'll have Coach Monday Odige join us on the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that break. We still have Monday Odige with us to talk about how successful it's been for them this season. Maybe if they had gone all through the season without this trophy, we wouldn't have crowned it like that. But when you go through the season, regular season unbeaten, going to Super 6, losing 2 games, and of course, all through Federation Cup journey, no loss, and of course, crowning it all with a title, you will have to crown, or rather say the season is a successful one. Coach, how do you feel about this success you've recorded with Bendel Insurance? First time you're coming to the top flight after a very long time for Insurance, and then you're winning the Federation Cup, also going to the continent.
Well, for me, it's a good feeling. Thanks.
Okay, I think. Yeah, Coach, I think it's difficult for us to actually hear you. I hope maybe before we end the show, we'll be able to fix that, and then you'll be able to hear us, and then we'll be able to talk about the success. We can't do that. Maybe tomorrow we should be able to do that. So, Bolu, let's leave for now, because we want to use today to talk about the Federation Cup, but let's leave it and quickly go to women's football. Now, the FIFA Women's World Cup is starting in 28 days now. Yeah, it was 30 days on Tuesday, 28 days now, of course, for the U.S. women's national team. They are having their veteran going into the World Cup. Now, the ages you have range from 18 to 37. Megan Rapinoe, of course, she's a part of the squad. Alex Morgan, you can't really rule her out. Alicia Thompson also joining. She is 18. She is the youngest player in the squad. You are also having key defenders like Naomi Gama, who is 23, ending her sport simply because of what she did at her club. And also, you have another 22-year-old another 22-year-old player who you would say, where is she coming from? But then she's MVP, Sophia Smith. So you also have another one, Trinity Rodman, who is a 21. So it's a blend of experience and also blend of the young. That's what Coach Andonovski decided to go with the teams that are going into the Women's World Cup. Now, they're bidding to win the title for the 3rd time in a row.
Well, Sissy, when I saw the squad list, I said to myself, these guys want to win this World Cup. Especially seeing Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan, with the experience they have, they don't necessarily have to play 90 minutes in all the games. But sometimes, like say, with experience, you can't buy it with money. Just come in once in a while and show what they have, what they can offer. USA want to break it. It's never happened before at any underage level, at any senior level, male or female. Nobody has won 3 straight World Cup titles before. These ladies want to do it. Can they do it? Yes. I think you have to be a real bettor to put your money against the USA. They know what they are doing. And looking at the squad they have, looking at our players that play in America, we have Uche Nakano, who has a record, in fact, a day dedicated to her in America. We have Michelle Alozie doing well in America. A few players on the moon, then you ask yourself, how come our own are not doing well when they come together? Well, maybe that's where coaching comes about. I don't see beyond USA. Yes, Canada, the Olympic champion, the Australia coming up doing so well, but the favorite any day, anytime has to be the U.S. women's national team.
All right, let's hear from the coach why he had to pick those teams and if U.S. are favorite to win the trophy.
I want to say we're all got it for Becky. It's no question that we're going to miss Becky. We're going to miss her on the field. We're going to miss her off the field. And if there's someone that has a relationship connection and someone that wanted Becky on this roster, that's me. But now that's part of sports, and we understand that things like this will happen. So we're very confident in the team that we have, and we're very confident in the abilities of the players that we have on our team that will be able to overcome the deficiency that may occur with Becky's absence. When we talk about World Cup, I don't think there's an athlete, or actually there is a soccer player or a coach that does not dream of a World Cup. If you're a soccer player, you dream to play in the World Cup. If you're a coach, you dream to coach. So it is a dream come true for me personally, and obviously myself together with the staff will do anything possible to help this team make history. We want to do it for the players. We want to do it for the team. We want to do it for the community. We want to do it for this country. We want to do something that has never been done before. And we believe in the quality of the team. We believe in the support that we have, and we think that we have what it takes to make it possible.
Yeah, Austin, you just listen to the coach talking about they have what it takes to win it, and then we're waiting to see if they can do that.
I just, I envy Coach Latko, this is the sort of headache you want to have as a coach when you've got quality everywhere. You've got experienced players. Cecilia, we have some who have retired from club football, in that team, but because of their experience and what they bring into the women's, the U.S. women's national team, you could tell that it can't just look back. And you mentioned it's a good blend of youthfulness and experience. There's even an uncapped Savannah that was called to the team. It means he's also thinking of the future. They should come around, take a look at, Rapinoe and what Alex Morgan they've done with their career. Look, all day, every day, if I'm to put my money, I love the Super Falcons, but if you put money on any team at the Women's World Cup, it has to be this United States women's football team. They are so focused, so result-oriented, and unstoppable. But let's see. The World Cup in New Zealand and Australia has already gotten us talking in different ways. I'm just waiting to see if the action on the pitch will do the same thing. This is football where anything can happen, but going by squad lists that we have seen from different countries, if it's who is going to win it after squad list were released, just give the United States of America the trophy and say, take your 3 peats. But let's wait for the action.
Talking about waiting for the action, let's listen to Alex Morgan. She's 33, and she was talking about the apprehension. I mean, how can a star player like that be thinking, I may not be picked? I didn't imagine that. That shows how tight that squad is. Let's take a listen to Alex Morgan.
We were expecting to receive calls for, information on who's coming and who's not. And to get that call from Vlaco was a great moment. I was actually expecting a phone call, but he FaceTimed me and I was like, oh, wow, I need to get myself together right now. So that was a little surprise, but it's always a special moment to hear a coach say that you made a roster for a major tournament and to be going to my 4th World Cup. I'm just as excited and anxious as my first one. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's tough for us to put even more target on our backs by saying we're a favorite or not. So, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, we already have a target on our back coming in as reigning World Cup champs. But there's some teams that have done incredibly well over the last 4 years, have made a name for themselves to compete for this trophy. And so, I think I'm very optimistic with our chances with this roster. And I think that you guys can probably write a story from there and decide whether or not that you think we're favorites or not.
So when it starts, we'll know if USA will be favorite or not. Austin, I'm looking at that. Bolu, I'm looking at the front. So you're having a 22-year-old Sophia Smith, who happens to be the Women's Soccer League MVP of the season. Then you're having another 21-year-old Trinity Rodman. They will be combining with Alex Morgan, so 3, and then the 3 up front. Of course, we have Alyssa Thompson. She's also part of that team. When you look at the forward, I mean, are you really afraid that these ladies, yes, we know England have been doing something really wonderful, Euros champions. Spain, of course, is another country. You look at what Barcelona is actually doing. You have most of the players in there with the Spanish national team. These 2 countries, yes, they're coming forward, but US will still take the day looking at this particular squad, especially the front 3 I just mentioned.
Well, Sissy, while you were reading all these things, the only thing popping in my mind is, these ladies or women or girls, they are just too good. They know what they want. That's the first thing. And for Alex Morgan to be shocked she got called,
yes,
it shows how compact that team is. The truth is, anyone can win in football, in sports, like yes, but like Austin Riley said, on paper, based on now, it's difficult to look beyond it because they are forced to reckon with. We've seen teams wobble in the women's game, talking about Brazil, talking about China and the likes, but this US team have been very, very consistent. And now they have a team that has the present, the past, and the future in one. It means there are 2 combined focuses in the squad. They have a target. And Shira said, yeah, maybe favorites or not, but there's a target on their backs. And they want to do just that and achieve what has never been done before. It's hard to look beyond, okay, stray bullets. Look at the names we mentioned. These girls are coming into what they know how to do. We have also champions in our team, but don't be shocked when we have, well, some will say a Nuga coach that will play right back as a left back, play a winger as a midfielder and all. These ladies are fighting to play in their position. The truth is, it's hard to look beyond them. Let's see whether, like they will say, God of soccer can work for Nigeria this time. Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I was just reading through the names, and I was like, I just wish we had like home-based players in our squad. We don't have that, but we know how big the US Women's League is. Nigeria's own is not as big as that. Let's rest that. Right, Austin, we gotta go.
We gotta go. I don't have much time, but I think we've had fun on the show tonight. The only problem was we couldn't speak to Coach Monday or Didier. We'll continue to try. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakman, and everything you remember. keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Bolu, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And Austin, don't forget to send mine.
All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a good night's rest.